Hey, how's it going? I am throwing stuff without meaning to. Okay, I think I need to unplug this device. So I have yesterday and today cards from, well, there were 3 from the Mary Magdalene deck. I thought I had 2, or I thought I had 3, and I could only find 2, and it did the thing that it did when I pulled out 1. I only was going for 1, and it was sticking together, is what I'm getting at. So I have 3. Let's see what I got here. That one was from Sunday, or Saturday? Sunday. Yeah, this is from Saturday. And this is from yesterday. What's today? Monday? Yes. Okay, so Saturday's card is the number 50. 5 is change, and change is on my mind a lot right now because the world that we all are living in right now is going through some things, going through some changes. And I've been watching a lot of programming shows about like what the CIA and FBI were up to and the stuff that they were letting go, like criminals that they weren't capturing and imprisoning and all of that. Like these days in the United States, you will think that the world is upside down because everything that you have grown from a young child to adulthood, that you were taught that everyone is, like, it's the collective agreement, you know, like, you're gonna behave and, you know, do certain things, like, you can have freedom, you know, but within reason, you know, so we're learning that from the top down of the government, they would prefer the things we all think are illegal and bad and wrong to be the things that are the good things, and basically to just flip everybody's script and totally change the reality, because when you have the collective agreement of everyone sort of behaving and cooperating with each other, to one where it's just everyone's out for themselves, nobody says true stuff, people are violent, people are like scapegoated and treated like murderers and terrible people when all they've done is just be in, you know, there, like wrong place, wrong time or something. And so watching these FBI and CIA shenanigans show, one of them was about a show that I've already seen. It was about a subject that I'd already seen a show on, rather, called The Octopus, and I saw it on Netflix, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, 3 years ago, so I don't know, some years ago, and it was a documentary about this reporter named Nicholas Coriolis, I believe his name is. Coriolis. I probably should have looked that up first before I started talking. In fact, I can just do that. Hold on. Okay, so here we go. It's American Conspiracy, The Octopus Murders. And here's the overview. An investigative journalist pursuing a political conspiracy known as The Octopus is found dead in his hotel room. Decades later, new details emerge. Well, that doesn't really tell you about all of the stuff that's in here that just blew my mind. It wasn't the first time that I learned about, like, the government doing terrible things so they could further their own ends, basically. Like, just before I started doing this, like, I was right in the middle of watching one about the Symbionese Liberation Army and the kidnapping of Patty Hearst and the brainwashing of Patty Hearst, and that's when I think MK Ultra was like laying it on heavy with the LSD everywhere. Like, even one of their operatives was like being used in the thing, and they were dosing him and giving him something called a zombie drug. And it's like, man, those are like the law enforcement people that you think you're told they're the good guys, but you gotta wonder. So the thing about the octopus, what that is non agents, nobody that took a government oath, that just are collected by these law enforcement agencies, and they were like serial killers. And one in particular, in the previous one I was looking at earlier, was in special forces in Vietnam. And so then the CIA was like, this guy's a good killer, let's like make him our hitman. So he's like in the army, and then he's, I guess there's targets there on the ground or something, or maybe they were like whisking him away on flights and then whisking him back to the front, or I don't know. It's crazy. But what it made me realize is like what the United States is going through right now, what we're being confronted with is like this crazy criminality, which like even after seeing all the things I was just talking about, I know better, but still I was like, but we're good, right? Well, I don't know, not really, maybe. But it's not new. Like, it didn't just start with this administration. They're just the most brazen and upfront about the financial corruption is insane. But then the thing that's trying to be buried, that they're trying to bury, has to do with the e-files. And man, I never seen people dig so fast to bury something. I got kind of sidetracked, but I did because I was wanting to like reference change, as there's a number 5 on here in the form of the number 50. And so just as a reminder, these cards I'm reading are from the Declarations of Mary Magdalene deck. Okay, so what the card actually says is, if one loveth thyself in wholeness, then one will hold true to the divine love of their sacred partner, for one sees no other before them. So I was talking about this last video, maybe the one before it, and I was talking about how the twin flames become that way, or like they find their way to each other. And I was talking about how you don't get there until you have like found wholeness within yourself. Like, you are no longer looking for validation outside of yourself. You no longer are looking for love outside of yourself, because you have learned to love yourself, and it's good, it's enough. You're content with that, and you're just free then to like function without all this other stuff, drama and longing, and why is this and what happened and all of that. It's like it no longer matters, because you're not even doing that anymore. It's like not of interest, and that's moving to a new stage. That's elevating a level, in my opinion. And so it's actually more than just what I'm talking about. That's just like a feature of the effect of that whole transition to this place where you're self-contained and self-confident. And so that makes you magnetically attractive to someone else that can tune into your vibration. And that is what oversimplification for sure, but in my opinion, that's like what the twin flame thing, that's how it happens. Each twin has to have their shit together, otherwise they're not going to be together, you know? And so, and then the rest of it, I think, is just, you know, it says, no one, I'll read it again because it's short. If one loveth thyself in wholeness, then one will hold true to the divine love of their sacred partner. So you stay like that way, that self-contained, self-content way, where you love yourself, and it makes you so much more lovable to the other person who matches your vibration, as well as other people, I think, too. Like, I don't think other people are missing that particular change, because it's, even if they haven't, like, reached it themselves, they recognize something there, you know, like the transition, I guess, makes some kind of impression that people can pick up on. And so the end of it just says, "For one sees no other before them," and that sounds like loyalty to me, and but not like bought loyalty or even earned loyalty. It's just like familial. Like you would die for that person because you love them that way. Okay, next card is number 17. Adds up to an 8. I'm just gonna go with strength on that one. As a general term, strength for you, making your way through your activities, whatever resistance or hurdles you might meet, you have the strength within you, along with, like what I was saying, that's one of those one of the things that you contain inside of yourself is strength. But you have to, just like you don't want to show an animal fear, you also can't show yourself fear. Like, if you're talking about strength in that way, like meeting a challenge that is fearful or dangerous or something, you have to draw upon a well of strength, and you're not going to go somewhere with a shovel in the moment. You're like standing on the crumbling cliff, and you have to make like a decision, or like several in rapid succession, to save your ass as you fall. So, yeah, you gotta look for that strength within yourself, because you can't be all calling Uber strength. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, so the card reads, "You are your own church, for your kingdom is within you." We're like pretty complete. We just have to like remember and realize it. Okay, I don't know if I'm having a hot flash or what. It's hot. Okay, so yeah, this was the Sunday card, but I love how it's all talking about you got it all on board, everything, like you're some kind of human suitcase or something. Okay, and so the last one is number 37, which adds up to a 10, which is 1. You take away the 0 because it has no value. And then the 1 is the master number, and the master is someone who can do these things, who can realize and use the contents of their suitcase with intent, you know, like knowing that you have this capability, you have the desire to do it, you have everything else, just you can do it. Like, once you decide that you're gonna like undertake something, you're equipped, you have everything you need to go do that thing successfully. You just, you know, that's just what your mindset has to be. So the card reads, "To see with the eyes of the heart is to see beyond time, space, and reality." So, something else I was looking at earlier was, actually I could link it because it's kind of topical information, but it was a man giving a speech. I don't recall the name, so I'm going to link it. But he was giving a speech about what's happening, and I have talked about this before, like when I've referred to the Luciferian agenda. So he talks about that, but what he also talks about is how the wool was over our eyes about the Garden of Eden and Eve and humans. And this is something that I have also come across on my own. Like, I like to sometimes watch these Bible scholars that are sort of questioning everything, and they're not just like televangelists that are saying popular stuff from the Bible and basically using it to control and to teach other people how to control other people, like in their families or their workplaces or whatever. And so, what he's talking about is not that. He's talking about the like original intention of the words, like the stuff that got banned, the stuff that doesn't want you to know that you're God inside, that you are literally like a dandruff of God. You are a flake. You are a fractal. You may not have like the full creative universal source energy, but you got a lot. Like you have, that's what Jesus was about. Jesus was like, everyone was like, oh my gosh, you can do these fantastic things and you saved us, oh my God. And he's like, but no, you can do, if you give a man a fish, he'll never learn to fish. If you teach him to fish, he'll get his own fish and he won't be bugging everybody else to give him a fish all the time. So, I mean, that got a little of my tone on it, but that was basically the message. Like, I'm showing you what you are capable of, what you can do, and, like, people were not hearing it, and that phenomena still exists today. I don't think I need to specify, but there are lots of people who don't see eye to eye with other people, and I've also talked about this a lot too. It's like school. If you're in first grade trying to talk to a 12th grader, and the 12th grader is talking to you about algebra and you don't even know how to read yet, there's a gap. There's like a dissonance. Like somebody is not going to understand what the other person is talking about. And that's kind of like what it is, because not everyone is learning this stuff at the same rate, like at the same time. Everybody has to get there on their own, at their own speed. That's just the way it works. I don't make the rules. So this one I knew I really had to think about. To see with the eyes of the heart, I feel like that's saying, if you see it with your mind, you're going to think about stuff and you could have resentments and you could sort of skip the Christed thing, which would be to forgive. I think even like God was, such as they are represented in the Bible, is like, yeah, you know, forgive, be forgiving. So I feel like seeing with the eyes of the heart is to get away, get rid of, oh yeah, get it away. All of the harshness and the sort of what we see right now, because like whatever the disagreement, whatever, well, that's usually what it comes down to, especially when it's just average person to average person. But say you were having a disagreement with this person and a car randomly hit you both, but the other person was in worse shape. What would you do? If you were seeing with the eyes of the heart in that moment, you would have a bond, because you both got slammed by a car and you're both injured, and one is in a position to aid the other. What do you do? I think it takes maybe something like that to knock the resentment and blame and all of that stuff out of you and remind you, like, oh my God, look at both of our guts are falling out with the same kind of blood. Oh my gosh. Like, I feel like your impulse would be to the best of your ability, drag the person to safety or administer aid. Like, I feel like that is the heart of our true selves. Is you're gonna feel some kind of way. You're gonna feel a kinship, like I said, because you're both busted open from getting hit. I would hope that is what happens. So, to see with the eyes of the heart is to see your child, and your child that, you know that everyone thinks your child is annoying because your child maybe is annoying, but you know, you love your child, and that's it. So, like, you love your annoying child, I don't know. just trying to like give an example of that's my interpretation. And it does sort of take you away, like in like those like TV show moments where someone has like that epiphany and like all of a sudden like they're in one place and everything is flying by them or flying toward them, or like the record scratch sound happens. Just like, whoa, reality check. So yeah, I think that's what that is. The last part, I'm having a little difficulty trying to frame something out of an interpretation out of all time, space, and reality. But really, I guess what that means is just being in the moment. Like I said, the 2 car crash victims. It's gonna be hard to yank yourself out of the moment of, dang, I just got hit by a car bad, me and this other person, and we're both injured. Like that's gonna monopolize your attention, I think. So that's it. Those are the cards. I hope you enjoyed that. Oh yes, please look at my signs. I'm just want to entertain you. Have a chuckle. Thank you and good night.